Hello, welcome to Now Spinning Magazine with me, Phil Aston, and it's time for the July channel update. Welcome everybody. This is first and foremost a music community, and I haven't done a channel update or website update for quite a while because it's been so busy and things have been kind of rolling out as reviews and interviews and all sorts of stuff. But I felt it was probably something I should get back to in doing a monthly update, because I know they're usually quite popular and it kind of triggers off lots of other ideas because of the comments I get in from my subscribers and patrons and just people who've stumbled across Now Spinning Magazine for the first time. So what has kind of triggered me doing this? I think it's time for a bit of a change in the way that I've done some of the programming. This is something that Sue mentioned to me the other day. I can come up with an idea and I try and keep it quite disciplined because I don't script anything. I just kind of have an idea and I just run with it. But there was a couple of artists where I was thinking of doing like ranking videos and or something like that, top tens and everything. And you probably noticed that when I do top tens, an extreme example would be celebrating David Coverdale's career, when what was going to be a top 10 list became something like a top 45 list, and then the videos last longer than an average European holiday. So what I'm trying to do is kind of be more concise, and also means that I suppose what I'm trying to do is to do more programming and for it to be effortless and fun, which is how this entire project started in the first place. Although it's my main kind of source of income, the whole idea is it runs on the fuel of this project is my love of music. That's it. And of course I love physical music, which is what this is all about. We are a kind of community of people who love to buy CDs, records, whatever, and talk about our experiences and how we've discovered music, whether it's something that came out last week or it came out way before we were born. Right, so what's the plans? For reviews, of which I do lots, I'm going to be more selective on those. And on the Now Spinning Magazine website, which you must visit, it actually points this out. And when I say more selective, that doesn't mean that I'm going to do only reviews by bands or artists with big names because it will bring in the views on YouTube, if that's where you're watching this. Not necessarily at all. It's going to be stuff that I really want to do. So it's going to be stuff that I really, really like. So yes, it might be something that's very popular or a kind of high profile box set or album, but equally it might be something that's an independent artist who only literally their family and a few friends know who they are. If it's something that really I really like and would like to promote and feel that I can use this platform to get them more attention, then I will do. So the reviews is going to be, I'm going to be more selective, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be all heritage acts or whatever. It's going to be across the board. In fact, I think one of them is about to go out now, who's probably a band that most people have no idea who they are. Okay, the next one is a kind of an umbrella term for videos, but it seems so simple. I don't know why I didn't think of this in the first place. It's going to be called the Collectors Club, and it's going to be, I'm just going to pick an album, not 6 of them, because I know when I do my playlist video, sometimes it could be 12 albums from 1986 or whatever. It never starts that way. It's usually 3. I try and think of the number of albums that will look good on a thumbnail. So actually the kind of right number is between 4 and 6, but it just spirals and then they become more difficult. So actually I'm doing something that seems quite obvious. It's just one. So Collectors Club, and when I say Collectors Club, it isn't going to be that I'm going to pick albums that are worth tons of money that I know that they're really rare, and many of you have been trawling through Discogs and eBay trying to find the thing that I'm showing you, and you're just going to look at this video with green-eyed monster eyes and think, gosh, I wish I could have bought that. Well, there might be one or two like that, but overall, I want it to be whatever I've been playing, or something that really triggers kind of stories. So it might be an album that's really common, that's really easy to find, either because it's being repressed, either on vinyl or CD, because I am multi-format man. It's not one format or the other, it's both. They're both important. Or it might be something that's really, you can find on eBay or Discogs for literally peanuts. But it's something that's kind of introduced me to something, or something that really kind of means a lot to me as a person. So I know the stories and the memories and how I found things and discovered them is something that people really like. And I sometimes, when I've included, probably you may not have noticed, but I've included perhaps too many, is that sometimes I end up kind of skimming over some of them because I'm looking at the clock that's in front of me now, and I think I've been talking for 12 minutes, and it's actually saying I've been talking for 39 minutes, and then I think, oh gosh, there's still 3 more to go. So I think by doing this, there'll be more concise, family-friendly length kind of videos. So that's the plan with the Collectors Club, and there'll be one of those coming along incredibly soon. The guides and the ranking videos will happen when I kind of, based on your comments, really. There's quite a few of those in the pipeline, but again, I might kind of split them into different parts so that they're easy to kind of manage and to consume as well. I mean, sometimes when I do have a splurge of videos that come out, especially even patrons or YouTube members, and you think, oh wow, there's another 8 videos to watch from Phil, and some of them are 2 hours long. I mean, trying to find the time to watch these things. So that's another reason why I'm doing this. The Music for Mental Health series, which is popular, and I know it's brought a lot of people to the channel, and there aren't enough of those. And I think because they've been pushed to one side because of other programming kind of demands. But there are 2 of those that I'm going to work on, which I feel will be really important to people who collect music. Interviews and podcasts. I love doing these. I've done loads of them, and on the website now there's a special page for them all, and you can search for via band. So if you typed in Yes, for instance, it will come up with all the interviews I've done relating to the band Yes. So, and or any, you know, a guitarist, you can search by guitarist, bass player, drummer, anything, and it's really easy to find all the interviews that I've done, because I've done hundreds now, and I've talked to some of the biggest rock stars in the world and some of the most promising up and coming artists as well. And I love doing them, and I've been absolutely privileged in being able to talk to people who I've been fans of for most of my life, or people I've recently discovered. So you can find that on the website. I'll stick the link in the description here as well. But coming up in the next few weeks, I'm talking to Greg Hart from Cats in Space, not just about the new album, but what we're going to do is we're going to pick, I've done these videos like where I do like an imaginary album, so there's like just 10 tracks, 5 on each side, and it's to do with a specific band. It's kind of it's a made up thing, but it's kind of, you think about the opening track and the last track, side 1, side 2. And because I know Greg, if he could go in a time machine, he'd go back to 1976. So we're going to pick a kind of imaginary album that picks the best tracks from 1976, but we'll also talk about the new Cats in Space album as well, which sounds really exciting, and you can imagine that's going to get a lot of support here. I'm also hoping to talk to Peter Hamill. He's got a new solo album coming out. I've already spoken to Peter Hamill once before, talking about the big box set about his career. Steve Hackett, a new interview talking about the album he's done with Steve Rothery. This will be my 6th interview with Steve Hackett. And I am also hoping to talk to Steve Steve Rothery about Marillion, because they're on tour as well. Derek Shulman from Gentle Giant, I'm hoping to talk to him about In a Glass House, which has recently come out, and I've just reviewed that. And who else is on my list? I'm also approaching, because I've made contact with Paul Mann, and the idea is to talk to Paul about John Lord, and specifically the classical music albums he made. Oh, there is somebody else as well. Yeah, Anthony Phillips, to talk about his recent piano album. And I'll be doing that with Sue, which is waiting for a date to come through on that. I will be doing the usual couple of Patreon only and YouTube member videos per month. That did kind of lapse a little bit, but that's coming back on stream. Music Biz Chat is also going to be more concise, which means they'll be easier to manage. Corn Classics with Sue, which of course is introducing many of you to the wonders of classical music. But I'll also be doing another video with Sue where we actually look at punk, because you might not know that Sue is a huge fan of punk rock as well, not just violin concertos. And also there'll be some opinion pieces about stuff. Ooh, bit edgy for me, but there will be as well. So again, there's more stuff to kind of to interact really. And the number one question which I've been asked since I did the first episode was, I did this video called The New Wave of British Heavy Metal and My Small Part in It. And there was one episode, and so many of you have probably given up on there's going to be like part two. Well, there is. So I haven't forgotten. It's just there's been so much other stuff going on, really. And I know many of you have also reached out and said, Phil, I know this box set, whatever, came out a while ago, but I can't remember. I don't know what it looks like inside. Can you cover some box sets that are out of print? And especially I'm thinking of bands like the Rolling Stones. People have said, are you ever going to do these things? I will. But thank you so much for all of your support, whether it's here, if you're watching this on YouTube, or whether it's on all the other social media channels where we hang out, or whether if you're a patron, of course, you also get access to the WhatsApp group, which is probably the friendliest place to hang out with like-minded people from around the world. The Facebook group is also private, but you're open to join that and see what it's all about. We have our private pub called the Now Spinning Arms, which meets up twice a month as well via Zoom, and we've got a music shop where you can buy CDs, box sets and vinyl, and we have merch as well, and lots of other things coming online. So thank you all again. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Take care, keep spinning those discs, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.